From performing worldwide to drinking around the world.
From reality TV bombshells to weaponizing my BFA.
From behind the scenes
to on your screens.
or headphones, we don't judge.
We're holding space for hot takes.
I'm Kaylin.
I'm Jacob.
And this is The Childless Millennials.
What is the Gen Z version of knowing the words to lose yourself?
Kaven. We have a
Or not
question
lose
for
yourself,
you.
or like all the small things.
Yeah.
Like
what is the Gen Z
I was only
equivalent?
listening to the Wicked Cast album, and I know all the words
Yeah.
to all the small things. So what cultural moment
Yeah.
does Gen Z have?
What is Gen Z's version of late night, come home, work sucks, I know.
I don't know.
What is their version of that? We need answers.
I don't know.
Welcome to the Childless Millennials.
Welcome to the Childless Millennials. Are you ready? L is becoming like violently millennial.
Oh, L is in like the publication.
Yes. Why millennials won't and shouldn't stop dressing how they want.
Oh.
No, but it's very positive.
Oh.
It sounded like a read.
That's a strange, okay.
But basically, it's this article talking about how millennials are like wearing whatever they want,
Mhm.
and like it's like we've collectively skipped the moment that we were supposed to dress like adults and instead kept using fashion as a form of self-expression.
Correct. I'm wearing a Mickey Mouse t-shirt.
The part of the article that's very Kaylin Kelly coded. I have a few hypotheses as to why millennials aren't dressing older. The strongest, we just keep getting hotter.
And we're hot.
And we're hot. And then she goes on to basically talk about how like we all got way hotter after high school.
Yes.
So it's like, duh. And then the other thing too is that she's talking about like how we always like our fashion sense in high school was like we were wearing what people wore to the office.
Correct. Because why was I showing up at school in like an A-line pencil skirt and ballet flats and a blazer?
No, she literally brings
was
up.
I doing that?
She literally says we've done our time in pencil skirts and sensible flats.
What?
But she says we accidentally dressed business casual for most of our young adult lives. I wore blazers to the club for a solid 10 years.
Correct. So I remember this vividly. They did a production of Cabaret at a theater in Orlando. And I had never seen Cabaret. I was so excited. I like really wanted to go. So I went with some of my friends. Tell me why I wore like a sensible nude heel, a like just above the knee pencil skirt with like a corset top, not too much cleavage, just enough
A
for
nude
Cabaret.
heel is
A sensible nude heel
crazy.
and a blazer. Why did I wear that to a production
yeah.
of Cabaret at the Abbey in downtown Orlando,
Nobody-
Florida? What was I doing? And then we absolutely went out afterwards, and I was
Oh yeah.
in my sensible pencil skirt.
Oh yeah.
Why did I do that?
I mean, Hannah Montana was wearing like metallic blazers.
Yeah, well, I would still wear a metallic blazer.
No, I know, but I'm saying like, why was a 13-year-old
Yeah,
wearing
no.
a blazer?
Why were we doing business cash? Why were we doing that?
Pop Princess Business Cash.
Pop Princess Business Casual. That's Cassie's next show costume for Decom Live. Pop Princess No, but like really though, now I'm thinking about it and I'm like, some of the outfits that Sharpay wore in High School Musical.
She shows up
were
in the first
very
in
business
and
casual
the pink
coded.
like
Yes.
the off-brand Chanel tweed
Yeah.
with the like
Do you
jacket.
do you think it may have been for women specific, like for girls? Do you think it may have been because of Legally Blonde? Like, do you feel like that was an influence? Maybe was like the Elle Woods, like Legally Blonde aesthetic, kind of informed that a little bit.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the men were out here wearing bootcut jeans and a t-shirt.
Correct.
Because when we were doing research for DCOM Live, we were like, Nikki, we gotta like punch up the guys, and he was like, "That's what they wore." And then we pulled up the references, and we were
Yes.
like, they're literally in True Religion bootcut jeans.
The girls would have on tights that were like mid-calf tights with a skirt over it, 3 belts
Yep.
slung low on the hips, a short sleeve t-shirt with a tank top over it and probably a vest as well with some layered necklaces of different lengths, a headband and glasses.
Yes.
And the guys were like, jeans and a tee.
Yeah. Crazy. Anyway,
It is crazy.
That article was very funny.
I also saw a couple of headlines. Unlike Jacob, I did approximately zero research. I read the headlines. I saw them on an Instagram post, and we're gonna roll with it. One of them, millennials are the drunkest generation. Discuss. That's all it said.
What else are we supposed to do to cope with the world?
What else are we supposed to do?
That's actually really, yeah.
I made margaritas.
Cheers.
It's
in
10
our
o'clock at night.
Fat, like
Cheers.
these fat. What are these even called? The like margarita goblet. Do you hear that, everybody?
Not the ASMR.
Not the tequila ASMR. There's so much tequila in this.
See,
I emptied a bottle. Whoops.
I hate headlines like that because, like, we didn't get a fucking sexual revolution in the 60s.
That's true.
We weren't out here doing acid in fields and...
Speak for yourself. Kidding. I'm totally kidding. I've never done that.
Everybody got it.
Yeah, so that was just one headline that I read. And then another one that Connor actually sent to the group. Again, did not do any additional research.
The picture was
beyond,
AI, so I didn't look up to see if it was a real...
I didn't either, but I liked it. Millennials are buying homes because of their dogs, not children.
Correct. We literally were looking for a home when we were trying purely because of Oreo.
Yeah, we just want a yard for the dogs. Like, it could be a 2-1. I don't care.
Have
I
I
just want a yard for my dogs.
fantasized about buying or like living in a plot of land that has like 2 mini houses with a shared backyard so that the 4 of us can all live there together?
Yeah, Zach wants you guys to move into this house on our street that's about to go up for rent. It's hilarious.
Really?
There's a house on our street that like we looked it up the other day and it's wildly expensive, but it's like a really cute house with
How
a
big is
front and a backyard. I think it's like 3 bedrooms, 2 baths or something like that. And Zach was like, I think it's like $42.95. And
Well,
Zach
maybe
was
we
like,
get Bryce to move down.
Zach was like split between the 4 of us, and then he was like, and then when D moves to LA, it'll be even cheaper.
Dying. That is so
He had a whole
funny.
plan. It was very funny.
Oh my God. I'm just gonna jump right in.
Do it.
Talking about
I already know where this is going.
Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so the reason...
Feverishly checking the levels. The Jesus Christ Superstar Overture performed by the one and only Jacob Heron, ladies and gentlemen.
If I was warmed up, I would have been able to really, really kill it. But
I thought you did kill it. There was nothing left to be desired there.
There's... Speaking of Jesus...
Speaking of...
I am
what a sentence
filled with
for
Christ's
this
love.
podcast specifically and this room of people. Speaking of Jesus.
We saw Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yes.
It was... Okay, at the Hollywood Bowl.
Yes.
So...
Not a local production.
No.
Just want to clarify.
Yeah, starring a like up and coming musical theater star named Cynthia Erivo. No, a couple things. One, because I came out about this to my close family and friends a week ago in the hot tub, I just need to come out about this on the podcast that I love Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yes, you do.
I
have no qualms with Andrew Lloyd Webber, so you don't have to like qualify it for me. Phantom is one of my favorites. Like, love it.
I love Andrew Lloyd Webber. I love Cats.
Yes, you do love Cats.
That score, like, just absolutely shreds.
Yeah.
I mean, but anyway, the one thing I didn't tell you guys when I was talking about how much I loved Andrew Lloyd Webber is that people joked with me because when I was applying to colleges and I had my UCLA interview for the musical theater program, they asked who my favorite composer was, and I said Andrew Lloyd Webber, and he was like, "Really?" And everybody was like, "I can't believe you still got into UCLA," saying that your favorite composer was Andrew Lloyd Webber. And then he asked, one of the questions was like, Well, because then he said, "What's your favorite Andrew Lloyd Webber?" And I think I said Cats and Phantom. And then he was like, "That's not even what I consider to be his best musical." And his best musical that a lot of people consider to be his best is Evita, which I know nothing about randomly. I've never listened to the album
I don't know anything
randomly.
about it either.
I've never seen it. But people consider that to be like one of his best works. But then he asked if you could grow up in any time, what would it be? And I said, born in the 60s so that I could have been in my 20s, in the 80s so that I could have been in
Jesus
Andrew Lloyd
Christ.
Webber musicals.
For no other reason than that. I love that.
So anyway, I love Andrew Lloyd Webber, and I just hate the fact that musical theater people like roll their eyes at Andrew Lloyd Webber
Yeah, I
because
do too. It's
really think he's that bitch. Jesus Christ Superstar was incredible.
Yeah.
Like, what have you seen of it?
So I am not familiar with Jesus Christ Superstar at all. I think very familiar with Jesus Christ and
Superstar is
quote,
just not
superstar. Like, sorry, not quote, comma, superstars, but not together. No, I think a few years ago, one of the musical theater girlies, like Jessica Vosk or Shoshana Bean, did like a cover of a song
I Don't Know
from
How to
Jesus,
Love Him.
something like that.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like my first time ever hearing a song from Jesus Christ Superstar. And I was like, oh, slaps.
Yeah.
Okay. And then just never really like took the time to find a version of the show to watch or like really explore the music or anything. So at this point, I've seen quite a few of the videos on TikTok from the Hollywood Bowl performance. Mainly, I guess, like, I think it's mostly the end. Like, what is it, Gethsemane?
Gethsemane.
So I've seen Gethsemane, and I've also seen, or Gethsemane?
I think
Where's
it's
the S? Gethsemane.
Oh, it is Gethsemane?
Gethsemane.
What?
Gethsemane.
Oh, I always call
And
it
I know that from the
Gethsemane.
Bible, not from Jesus Christ Superstar. Fun fact.
Huh.
Yes.
Second
So
number.
I have seen Gethsemane, and I have seen essentially like the Road to Galilee. I don't know what it's called in
When they're like
the show.
parading in for the first time?
When
Oh,
Jesus is like
Haze.
coming.
Oh, no, that's
like
not
when like she's like walking up to be crucified.
Oh, that's that
Yes.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I've seen from the
Yeah.
show. And then like I saw a little bit of Josh Gad, who is Herod.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a little bit of him when he made the "no good deed goes unpunished" joke, which was very funny.
Very funny. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've seen like those clips, and obviously I'm familiar with the story of Jesus and Judas and and all of that
So
kind of stuff.
to just give like a brief history lesson to anybody listening.
I did watch a full video deep dive of the history of this show.
Oh, you have to
and
send
I
it to
read
me.
the Wikipedia page so that I would be prepared for this
Oh
conversation.
my gosh, I'm dead.
Yes, I
I
did.
was the other day. I was in bed and I was like, oh, wow. And he was like, what are you doing? And I was like reading a thesis analysis on Jesus Christ Superstar. Yeah. No, but Jesus Christ Superstar is really fascinating, like in the musical theater history canon, and it doesn't really get the credit that it deserves compared to other shows like West Side Story or A Chorus Line of like changing the course. But after seeing this version, I was like, oh, we need to be giving major credit to Jesus Christ Superstar, because one of the big things was that they used handheld mics in the show.
It's
with cords. Like it was before wireless. So can you imagine
rock show
the chordography of doing that, doing a full musical
with a corded mic?
Because people don't realize that people didn't. I think that Beauty and the Beast on Broadway was the first Broadway musical to give every company member a microphone.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, I guess that makes sense because for a long time the ensemble was just stage mics, right?
Yeah, they just
had
ambient.
like area mics, like ambient mics.
So the changing of the course of like a rock show on Broadway and a rock opera is like really crazy. And also I referenced it as an 80s musical because I just associate it with being the 80s, but it's 60s. 69? 70?
I think it was either 69 or maybe 71.
Yeah, like because it was a concept album first. Like, and I don't
actually. I think it was. So I think they wrote it in the 60s. They started trying to sell it in 1970.
Yeah.
Because that's when they. I swear to God, I watched a whole video about this. They couldn't get anybody to buy into the show.
Right.
So they like begged this producer to let them record one of the songs.
Crazy.
And he was like, yeah. And they released it as a single and it went like platinum.
It's crazy.
And then they were able to do a full concept album. And then people started doing like illegal concert versions of the show once the concept album was out. And there were no rights to the show because the show had never been performed. So people just started performing it all around. And then that's when Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice were like, we need to do a production of this show because it's like cropping up everywhere. It's getting this like cult following and we don't have any rights to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the history of it is so interesting because it also was like this like Vietnam War time. By the time it made its way to America, right? It's like the musical really like humanizes the story of Christ in a way that a lot of Christians found like very controversial.
Yes.
Like as Connor said, like the sort of like not like revolutionary, but like revolutionary part of the story is Gethsemane.
Mm-hmm. That's absolutely going on TikTok. A supercut of every time we say Gethsemane.
I thought it was Gethsemane. Gethsemane. I don't know.
If you're my grandma, it's Gethsemane.
Yeah, that's what I. Anyway,
it's Gethsemane.
Hilarious. Because basically, I did not know that like the teaching of the church is that Christ was in the garden, basically like praying for there to be another way. But in the musical, it's like Jesus coming to the realization that like I have to do this to get my message to the world in like this very human way. Anyway, I'm just gonna say it. I found, because you know I'm gonna put my little like astute glass on as a scholar and say I found this production to be the most exciting musical theater live performance moment to happen since Hamilton. Like the only other thing I can think of is the Wicked movie, but I don't count that because it's a movie. But like as far as like, because for me, seeing it on the internet, this really broke through like just the community and like everybody in all sectors were like aware of it.
Yes. I've been seeing that in the comments on TikTok too. Like when I watch the videos, I always go to the comments and people are like, I don't know what this is, but this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, can somebody tell me what this is from?
Right.
And it's like you said, it really is bringing people in beyond just the normal musical theater people that would know Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah. And what I said to the reason I was so obsessed with it was because I had seen Jesus Christ Superstar a bunch of times and I was like, man, I listened to the album like a few times through because I like all of Andrew Lloyd Webber's like themes are so big and grand like that, like bam, bam, bam. It's just like so epic, you know? But it like seeing it at the Hollywood Bowl, like I would love for them to release a film of their thing, but I will say like the point of it all was that it was live at the Hollywood Bowl and like the way that the entire theater was like locked and loaded into every second of it and like did not move. People were not getting up and walking and living their best life. Like everybody was so
locked in
it. And I was thrilled that we were not close.
Yeah?
Yes, because the bowl is sometimes so big that like when you do, like I didn't look at the screens like once because the show was like directed and designed from such a like large scale that you didn't need to see their faces to like see what was happening.
Yeah.
Like when they give Jesus the 39 lashes, like I thought I was gonna throw up. Like it was horrifying to watch because like every hit, like which is usually how it's staged, but like every hit you're like blinded with like red.
Yeah.
You know, and like the way that they make you sit through that and just the tableau of like Cynthia like tied up and just it was the production was so big, and it's such a big score and a big sounding dramatic score that like seeing it live like that was like, this could never translate in a recorded version.
Like, I want there to be a pro shot of it because I want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
But I also do feel like, and I hate to be this way because I know a lot of like Broadway elitist people are like this, which is like, it's meant to be seen live and not on a recording.
But
and
they should release it. I do think they should.
But I do know that there inevitably will not be the same. I mean, it's just like with the Hamilton pro shot. I love the Hamilton pro shot. I still watch it, but like having been there in the theater, having seen it performed with most of the original cast, like there is an element to it that is about being in the room. And so I really do hope that they maybe did a pro shot of the Hollywood Bowl show.
Well, I'm just confused
so
because they are professionally filming it like in the moment. Like
did you see that video of the girl calling the show for the camera angles?
I'm obsessed with her.
Do we know her? No, that video was so impressive. I loved it. Good. And because it was like, it was almost like watching somebody dance. Because she's she's so active and she's so in it, and like her cues are very physical, and she's like, it was really cool. That's one of those things that like I love the internet and social media for, because in the 70s, there wouldn't have been, there might not have been a person in a role like that, depending on what the technology they had on hand was. And B, there would have never been a way for us to see somebody like that. And like, that's such a huge part of the creative process of a show. Like the way they staged it at the Bowl. I thought her video was super cool.
It's so cool. Yeah. But the moment of the show, like, I feel like when I saw Hamilton, for example, and they do Before Satisfied, and they do like rewind, and you see that for the first time, you're like, it's just like literally your whole body like goes to a different place, because you're like seeing something that you've never seen, and you're like experiencing like a brilliance in the moment. And for me, it was crazy to have that experience at a musical that was written 50 years ago,
because that you've seen multiple times.
Yeah, but like I think it is a testament to like, when I explained it to Connor, of like, when you go to a nice restaurant, everything tastes good on the menu. And so like, if you eat like, I don't know, like snail, like escargot is like snails, right? That's like gross, but like at a nice
escargot
restaurant,
is so good.
Yeah.
I love escargot.
Especially like a nasty little bacon wrapped escargot.
And not saying that Jesus Christ Superstar is like snails, or that it's bad,
but I know
like
what
when
you
you see
mean.
something at that level, you're able to really experience it in its best form, and it helps, like it's educational, because basically like I did not know that like really what the show was trying to say until this production, which is like basically this conversation on like destiny, and like the way that all of these people, in trying to eliminate Christ, they played into Christ's hand and agenda, and ended up elevating Christ to the global sensation that he is, which
the people that wanted Christ dead are essentially the people who made him the Messiah.
Yes. Right.
Like
which is what the show is saying. Yes. And that's what I said. I was like, this is literally like Trump. Like,
it's very relevant today.
Yeah.
Which, and having not seen the show, but like knowing the story of Jesus and the disciples and all that kind of stuff, reading through the Wikipedia page and like the video that I watched that was like a breakdown of the show and its history, I think it's so interesting that so many Christians had such a problem with it. I say it's interesting, but not surprising. Let me say that first and foremost. So many people were upset at how humanized Judas is in the show, because as Christians, we're taught
that he's
the
evil.
villain.
Yeah, that he's the villain.
Judas is the villain. And this show, from what I read, paints him more in the light of a flawed person who had to make a really difficult choice.
Not even, I actually think that the show is trying to, because in theory, the show is told from his perspective. And so he's actually not, they've written the show that Judas thinks that Jesus is getting out of control and that his radicalism is getting too radical and that it's ultimately going to hurt the Jews.
Interesting.
So that's like the perspective that Judas has in this musical, is that he's like, knock it off or we're all going to die.
I see.
Like, you're going to get us all killed.
I said that Bernie Sanders is Jesus and Hillary Clinton is Judas.
when I tried to make the Trump comparison and then he said that, I was like, shut up.
It's so true, though.
Yeah, no, but it's because the show, that's what was so cool about Singing at the Bowl, is because like it's like how I would say Book of Mormon is really not about Mormonism. It's about like American Christianity. Yeah. You know, it's like always about something bigger, and like Jesus Christ Superstar is just really about like
Book of Mormon is about colonization.
Yeah,
at
right,
its core.
Right.
It's less about where we're at and what religion is involved. It's at its core, it's a story about colonization.
Yeah. And Jesus Christ Superstar is a story about power and infamy.
Yeah.
Which is why it's Superstar.
Yeah.
You know? But the like 20 minutes of the from the 39 lashes where they're playing that like dunk 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 dunk, well, he's just like 1, 2, and you have to sit there and watch the entire fucking thing with that music underlying into, then it was like, it's burning my brain. Then when they crowned Cynthia with the crown of thorns, she like looks up and every mover in the entire Hollywood Bowl at like 100% brightness like shoots down on her, and the whole symphony plays that theme of like bum bum bum, because she's essentially, after the lashes and with the crown of thorns, she's like, Jesus is being crowned as Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, it was basically like Jesus was not Jesus until
this
that
moment. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like that's why the show is so brilliant, because it's like acknowledging the like the sick human dynamics of all of it, you know? And so it was like, because I've never seen a musical at the Hollywood Bowl, actually. And to be honest, any video I see of musicals at the Bowl, they always look so like chuggy. Like,
I don't actually think I've ever seen an actual musical there either. I've seen shows there.
But no, the reputation of musicals at the Hollywood Bowl is like when they do Hairspray and you have like Marissa Janet Winokur, who like originated Tracy Turnblad, like reprising her role when she's like 30 years too old to play it. Nick Jonas is playing Link Larkin. No. Like, it's always the like,
Northwest.
I don't,
Nick Jonas played Link.
Yeah. It's always this like, I hate to keep saying SNL, but it's like the SNL version in the sense of like just crazy stunt cast.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's not, but this production was giving every like high quality casting choice. Like, yeah, like he was like, Cynthia as Jesus like is a stunt cast,
but it's a highly qualified stunt cast.
Yeah, but it's also like, it's an exciting, it's the reason that I don't consider it necessarily like a stunt cast is it's not like, oh, look, it's Cynthia Erivo. Like the way that you're like, oh my God, it's Nick Jonas in the flesh. You know, like that's not really the point. Like, it actually is like an exciting creative choice. Yeah. Because to have Jesus played by a Black queer woman was like, and to watch a Black queer woman get whipped on stage, I mean, it was sickening. Yeah. And it should be.
It should be.
But like, I actually felt that this was the best I've ever seen the show work, because it's always been weird to me that Judas and Jesus are always two men that sing in the same range.
The same type, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, who is singing what? Like, you know, like they both do the same thing. Like, it's usually two Adam Lambert type. But to have like Judas as Adam being this like towering, tall white man, like double the size of this. And there's actually a lyric in the story about when Herod says like, oh, you're much smaller. And I was like, was that a new lyric or is that always the lyric? Because it was like it worked so well. But so I feel like this musical really like established its like changed its reputation on what I think people will start to think of as musicals at the Hollywood Bowl, which makes me really happy as being like a very like serious an event to take seriously as opposed to like a campy, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And that makes me really happy. And it also confirms like why I'm happy that I left New York, because I was like, this is the most exciting musical theater thing I've seen or wanted to see in years. And it didn't happen in New York. It happened in LA.
It happened in LA. And I feel like that's also a really good show, like a rock opera that is staged naturally from its inception as a concert. Is actually the perfect show to do at a venue like the Hollywood Bowl. It makes sense.
Right.
You know.
But even when they did Rent, it was like it was like Vanessa Hudgens is Mimi. It was, Aaron Tveit was Roger. Which, by the way, also like really, I don't know what time we're at. Oh, just like quick tangent. So like I grew up with Adam. He went to like the high school like down the street from me.
Lambert?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So like I did a show with him at Moonlight. I was Michael in Peter Pan. He was Captain Hook.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was just like always that bitch. Like everybody that like had a brain knew that he was like going to be a huge thing. But I was just like thinking about, I'm just so happy that he had this really cool post where he was like, I got to play 2 of my dream roles in the last year. And I was like, I don't think people realize that like Adam has dream roles because the musical theater industry has never really like claimed him or gotten to claim him because he was, for what he deserved, he was very unsuccessful in musical theater. He was in the ensemble of Wicked doing, you know, like a thankless role for what he's capable of.
Yeah.
And he was the Fierro cover, but like the buzz was always like, oh, but he's like, what's the buzz? Which, by the way, Milo Manheim was so hot in the mix for that. I was dying. I was just in Zombieland the whole time because it was just Milo Manheim like, what's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? And his like covered
hold on. Who does Milo play in the show?
Peter.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a smaller disciple role, but but Adam, when Adam was understudying Fierro, it was like, oh, but he could never play Fierro because like he's like too gay. Which we all know because of the tea that I spilled with you that I can spill on the podcast was that I was like at an event with somebody that was like very close to Wicked origin people that like they were concerned Jonathan Bailey was too gay for Fierro. And so now I'm like, oh, they considered Adam to be too gay for Fierro, which is why he never played the role full time. And then I was like, it's crazy because he was doing musical theater at a time when there was no roles for him. Like he was singing in a way that there were no musicals.
There was no role for him.
And then I was even like, well, what about Rent? And then I had this crazy realization. The 2 main leads in Rent, the 90s musical that we all associate with being about AIDS and gay things, the 2 leads are straight white men.
Yeah.
Roger is straight and Mark is straight.
I thought
Mark, it's not alluded to that he is straight, but he's Maureen's ex. And then Roger is dating Mimi. And so I was like,
I can see a world in which Roger's bi, but I don't know if that's like canon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just was like, it's so insane because then I was like, oh yeah, like why did Adam never do Rent? And I was like, well, because he's not right for Roger and he's not right for Mark. And then it's not like a match made in heaven though. Like, you know what I mean? Like he'd be fine, but it's not like, it's not the best use of his.
I want Mimi to be.
That'd be interesting. I think it might take away from the angel story. But anyway, I just was thinking about how it's so, this is also like what I hate about musical theater is that like, why do we not have a musical for Adam? Like what? Like that really like serves his talent and ability. With the exception of this role, like Judas, I was like, oh my god, like this is. He was incredible.
That he gets to originate a role one day. That like there is someone that writes a show.
Yeah.
That he gets to originate a role that's for him.
I do as well, but I think that the MC was his Broadway debut.
Yeah.
Which is crazy for somebody that grew up in musical theater. No. In LA. I don't think he did it on Broadway. He was in the LA company. I from what I gather, Wicked was like not supportive of American Idol.
Oh,
Because
interesting.
he like needed a certain amount of time off
Yeah.
to like do that, and he had to quit the show to like
Yikes.
pursue that
to like do
journey.
American Idol.
Yeah. Yeah, no, which is just
Wow.
crazy to me. Why is Adam Lambert only making his Broadway debut like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
So
I did hear he was amazing in that role
in the MC.
as the MC.
He is the MC.
Yeah.
That's like, yeah. So it was just really cool to see like him in that and to be like, you were always this good. You were always,
Yeah.
this is exactly what you sounded like when I saw you in Pirates of Penzance at Mount Carmel High School.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then also the guy we sat next to saw the original company of Jesus Christ Superstar in London when he was 5, and we were both like conducting the orchestra because
That's
in
incredible.
the overture just like boom ba-da-dum ba-da-dum bum ba-da-dum bum bum bum, and we like kept doing it together to the point where then him and his wife switched because his wife was between us and she was like, you guys need to sit next to each other.
We're just gonna switch here so you guys can be besties.
Yeah, so that's what you missed on Jesus Christ Superstar. Glee. No, it was absolutely incredible. It was totally revolutionary and amazing. And
I just will never not be impressed by Cynthia Erivo. She's like the most insane. There's like really no words to describe how I feel about witnessing Cynthia Erivo.
it really
Just who she is. Like
I think the only way you could have gone bigger than Elphaba is to play Jesus. Christ.
I mean,
I was like, she's playing Jesus.
You know that God is a woman. You know, Ariana sent her a voice memo of her singing that when the casting announcement was made.
Of course.
Like, you know, absolutely.
Yeah, she was unbelievable. And it was crazy because we like tried to find like some conservatives that were like mad about it just to see what they were saying. And I was like, there really is nothing to be mad about because she was it wasn't a woman playing Jesus.
Yeah.
It was just Cynthia playing Jesus. She had no makeup on.
Yeah.
It's not like she was in like a heel serving.
She always has her nails.
like-
she will never be
But
without
like
her nails.
she's like
I loved the costuming for her.
So
I thought it was
good.
very, very
Yeah.
cool. I loved like the tattered, but it was still very flattering, but like tattered, and then like the boots, and then she was barefoot. And like I loved the whole like evolution of her costume.
And I will say last thing, sorry, I just like don't mean to nerd out about musical theater, but because when it was done, I turned to Connor and I was like, musical theater has the power to change the world. Because and he laughed at me just like you did. But what I love about moments like this is what I loved about Hamilton is like you could not make a movie with
Right.
Cynthia playing Jesus. Like only in the theater can you do really like disassociative casting.
Right.
And that's like what I love about it is that like I never once was like, oh, it's a woman or oh, it's Cynthia. It was
Right.
like, no, you're just telling me the story.
I think the closest we've ever, I mean, this might be a radical statement because it's not like I've seen every movie ever made, but in the movies that I've seen, I think the closest we've ever gotten to something even remotely like that is dead ass Cinderella with Brandy.
Oh yeah, totally.
The closest we've ever gotten to that level of suspension of disbelief in film
Right.
is the Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella with Brandy, because no one ever questioned why like Whoopi Goldberg was married to a white man and had a Filipino son. Like nobody ever questioned that. I think that's like the closest we've ever
No,
gotten in
totally. I
cinema
mean, it
to
was a
that
big thing
level
when they did the
disbelief.
Hairspray movie, like why, like how they made John Travolta like look so much like a woman because like it was like this was never supposed to be like convincing.
No.
It was always supposed to be like that's a man, but it's
Yeah.
So anyway, it was incredible.
Speaking of incredible, life-changing pieces of live performance, we just did our second ever DCOM live show in San Diego, and it was amazing, and I
Yeah.
loved every moment of it.
I barely remember it. I was more stressed and anxious than I'd ever. I was
know.
way more nervous for this one than the first one.
I wasn't, and then about 20 minutes into the show, I was like, bitch, you should have been.
No, you were in rare form though. You sounded so good.
Thank you. I
sounded
appreciate
so
that.
good.
I do appreciate
I
that.
think that it just like it just all kind of caught up to me, like the adrenaline of it. It was the moment in our sound check when we had to figure something out with the videos. All the videos that I had spent all this time like filming and editing, that I was like, I did have a moment of like, what have I done? I was like, I built the biggest thing ever. Like, why did I do this? But that being said about those videos, that was like the first thing everybody said. They like
I loved
loved the talking.
The
yeah,
talking videos, I mean, so many people have mentioned that like the talking head videos just like add such a cool element to the show. But even your video like backgrounds that you worked on, I've noticed in the photos just how good they look. Like, it's really, really cool. It looks really, really good. I know it was stressful, but like, I think the work was worth it.
It was all a good stress, it's a really big show. Yeah. It's a really big show. And when we saw Jesus Christ Superstar, I was like, wow, what it must be like to have like one person for every department. Because like their video projections were amazing. And I was like, that was one person's job. Actually, it was probably three people's job. The light, you know what I mean? Every element, I was like, I did everything for my show. And it was at a huge scale.
It's true.
But
I truly think it was so worth it. And we've talked about this a couple of times of just like, now that work is done.
Yeah.
And tweaks will be made along the way, and we will do different iterations of the show, some that are that big, some that aren't that big. Like, I think the show is really unique in that it still has the same impact without those elements. Like, it still has that nostalgia and like the fun, the let's take it back, kind of vibe. I think we can do that in so many different ways.
Yeah.
But the show is built now, with small tweaks here and there that are, only going to continue to upgrade it. The show is done.
And what I keep being my big takeaway on the way that this particular one was received was like, everybody that didn't know every song like loved experiencing new music. Like they genuinely were like, oh, like I didn't know, like Juliana was like, I didn't know like half of that music, but I like loved it.
Yeah, she was like, oh, I need to go watch Zombies now because that whole Zombies medley slapped. And I was like, yeah,
right.
It does.
Yeah, we really highlight, like the message of like what these movies, did to us, which is like, tell us that it's okay to be yourselves and to like follow your dreams, but not at the cost of what you value most in life, of your friends and family. And it's crazy that we're able to do that without dialogue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or intentionally written music. Like there is a story, in a metaphorical sense that's really coming across.
That's what I keep saying is like, without the show stepping over into being musical theater, because it's not, it's a tribute concert. Like we're not playing characters, there's no storyline, there's no even like really scripted dialogue. It's just, don't forget to mention this here to set up, the cue for Lyndon is basically what it is at this point. There is a thesis. There is a thesis statement to the show that I think shines through in so many different elements. And excuse me, by my perception, the thesis statement of our show is that the people on stage are huge fans of these movies, these TV shows, this music. It impacted our lives in myriad ways, and we are here to share in that experience with other people who are just as big of fans as we are. It's a collaborative experience. It's not, we're going to put on the best show you've ever seen in your life and you're going to like it. It sounds silly and like reductive, but it really is, we're all in this together.
No, of course.
Like, we are all fans of this thing. It's not meant to be like, I'm this superstar who's doing every move and singing every note perfect so that you will pay dollars for it. It's like, I grew up singing these songs standing on my bed with my MTV karaoke machine,
Yeah.
at my grandma's house. And when it was done playing Survivor by Destiny's Child and Genie in a Bottle by Christina Aguilera, I was singing Disney Channel music.
Right.
And it's about bringing that to a live audience.
Yeah.
And that live audience going, I also remember standing on my bed singing that song. I also remember my sister teaching me the Cheetah Girls choreography and us going and performing it for our mom and dad so that our friend could sleep over.
Yeah.
Like, well, we can we have a sleepover? We have a dance to show you.
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
That's the whole point of the show is to bring people back to those formative moments.
Yeah.
And I think it really does such a good job of that.
It brings out the best in people too. Like, what I love is that in the pit at this theater, like where everybody's dancing, it's very diverse. And that's like why, like, the one moment that I remember like very viscerally was like a fan that we had at our first show who is on the spectrum in some capacity was like at the lip of the stage, which I thought was such a crazy
John, I think
Jonathan,
is his name.
But I was like, this is a very overstimulating environment, but not only are you comfortable being that close to the stage, but that like everybody around you is also keeping the space safe for you. Yeah. Like there's like rowdy college students and 7-year-olds and, people with some sort of, cognitive, difference. There's like a big diversity, but everybody is able to be there together and like have fun, and they keep it a safe space for everybody. And that is what like meant the most to me.
It is really, really special because, watching people in the like dance pit area, there's, like you said, there's people of all ages, of all types, of all backgrounds, and everyone is there with a common purpose, which is just to like have fun. But they are also, I've noticed in the shows that we've done, like so respectful of the fun of the people around them. Taller adults or even taller kids letting smaller kids stand in front of them.
Right.
Making space for people when they need space. Not like aggressively rushing the stage, but like if we walk up to the front of the stage and like go to say hi, then they're like, oh, okay. And they'll come up and engage that way. It is really cool. And I think it's cool to see, like, it's not necessarily specifically our fan base. Like, I feel like we are just like the vehicle. In that sense, it's people who are fans of Disney and Disney Channel specifically. And it's just really cool to see the diversity of that fan base and the love and care and respect that the fan base has, not only for us, but for the fans that are around them. It's just really cool. And it's like, oh, like y'all are good people. And you always want good people at your shows.
Yeah.
I've literally been standing on stage and like watched people fist fight in front of me. So like the fact that, I'm not saying somebody's going to get a fist fight at a Disney Channel concert, but just seeing how, like you said, people make space for other people. They're kind and considerate while also being engaging with the show.
Right.
That just doesn't happen in every venue.
No. It was really special. And going back really quick, like the video backgrounds, like we joke about that because I spent so much time, but like I really was very intentional. And one of my favorite things that like, I don't think I ever like told you guys, but I was very intentional about breaking free. I really wanted like a night sky.
Yes, with the moon.
Yeah, with the moon. Yeah. Because then it goes straight into the climb and the whole background / lighting design for the climb is to be a sunrise.
Oh, cute.
So it's like the evening of breaking free and then
goes into the morning.
It goes into
That's
the morning.
Very
like
cute.
I very much I thought about all of this.
He's a storyteller.
But yeah, no, it was really special.
I love it. It was so fun.
Well, here, do you want to say?
I'm just gonna say that I could have cried when the videos worked because Jacob picked all the backgrounds, but then I programmed them all, and it was technologically the most impressive thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, you're like the QLab expert now.
Also, the most stressful thing I've ever done. I literally had a mental breakdown trying to do it, then asked for help, and then figured it out.
Yeah.
And when they actually worked and we're like in the show and I like look around and they're seamlessly transitioning and the fades are perfect. I'm like, I fucking did that.
You did. You did.
The fact,
If Adam Lambert is that bitch, Connor and Jacob are that bitch.
oh, thank
For
you.
Decom Live. It's true.
No, the fact that we essentially ran a software program for the first time in performance is insane.
Yeah. And it worked.
And the only mistake was that the logo was on the screen when it wasn't supposed to be, and it was the best mistake of the whole show.
Yeah,
Because-
honestly.
Because
yes.
it was when we
Because
had
it was when we
M-Dot,
had M-Dot, yeah.
appear. And
Which
so
we didn't even talk about that. He's so cool.
I literally like barely got to talk to him, and I'm so upset because I was like, this is like, I just was
He said
juggling
he
so
said
many
he would come
things.
back. So
Oh, you did? No,
Yeah.
he was so incredible. I thought it was like, he was just so down and game and willing to do everything. And
did
like,
Zach tell you about his conversation with him?
No.
So after
Which, if you're listening, M-Dot, who does the rap and it's on there is no competition, was our special guest.
Camp Rock 2.
Yeah, and he did it in the show.
In the show, it was amazing. And like did like the original like choreo. It was very cool. He was awesome. He had like
we're not doing original choreo.
and we
he's
were
like,
like,
"We're
you
not
are.
doing
No, he had so much swag. Like he was so cool. But so Zach, filmed with your camera
Yeah.
from the front and then went backstage to put it back in the dressing room.
Oh, yeah.
And M-Dot was in the dressing room and was like, hey man, are you going to post that? Can I get your Insta? And Zach was like, oh no, that's not mine.
That's so funny.
But he said he was really cool and was just like, oh, okay, like I wanted to see it when you posted it. So I just thought it was really funny because
Yeah.
Zach was like, I don't have an Instagram. Like he
That's
like didn't
so
know
funny.
what to say.
Which it came out good, right? I actually haven't watched it yet. Yeah.
Good. I'm excited.
It was great. And then literally the next day we woke up to 2 messages about bringing our show to
Yeah.
them, and we're figuring it out. And,
Yeah.
hopefully there will be just more and more Decom Live.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
I want to do it again soon because I don't like forgetting things. I
Yeah.
don't like. I want to do it again. And I honestly, like, for real, I've considered just like doing the show as my workout routine because I burned 3,000 calories doing that show.
On your watch?
My little Aura ring,
What?
3,000 calories. The day of the show, I burned 3,600 calories.
Oh my
So I'm like, okay,
God.
so I could just do the show like,
do the show once a week.
yeah, like I'm just
Yeah.
gonna do the show like Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
And because like Mondays I go to Disneyland, burn my calories there. Tuesday and Thursday, I'll just do the show at the house,
Yeah.
full out.
I used to say
And
that
your
about
girl's
Book
gonna
of
be
Mormon.
snatched.
I actually really want us all to get into Orange Theory.
Oh,
Do you not like Orange Theory? The 4 of us.
the four of
And
us. So Zach loves
I
Orange
know.
Theory.
I've always like wanted to get into it.
Zach
but
loves Orange Theory.
Anyway.
He's a big Orange Theory fan.
All right.
That's Jinx.
Jinx. Monsoon. Oh my God.
That's what we need to watch. The Jinx Monsoon Z-Way episode. Have you guys watched it?
It's great. Yeah.
I didn't watch
we
it
did
yet.
Okay, we'll watch it. We'll watch it as a warm up to our archival recording of Decom Live.
Amazing. I love that for us. That
Well,
was really funny. Such that just happened.
we're gonna be posting more videos on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Now that we've done this August show and I feel like I have more brain
now
power.
that I'm like back to reality.
Yes. Oop, there goes gravity. Oh.
Yeah. Wait, is that Lose Yourself?
Yes.
Oh, we're bookending.
Back to reality.
Yup,
Oh, there goes gravity.
Yup,
There
you're
goes
so-
gravity. Yup,
you're so mad that you
won't.
won't. Okay. Anyways. Okay.
That was our pre-pod warm-up. When Connor asked for mic checks, we just did the whole first verse of Lose Yourself. It was Violently Millennial. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Bye. The Childless Millennials is a podcast hosted by Jacob Heron and Kaylin Kelly. The show was produced by Connor Warren Smith with music by Connor Warren Smith.